Okay, ladies and gents, what we're looking at today is factorising a quadratic expression. Quadratic expression, something that contains a squared term. So, x squared plus 2x plus 3. The quadratic expression has got a squared term in it. Just by way of a start off, a little bit of starter activity for you. Selecting two numbers that add, that sum to make the number in the left hand column, but then multiply together, their product makes the number in the middle column. So two numbers have got to be selected. By way of an example, the numbers 5 and 7, they sum, they add together to make 12. Their product, when they're multiplied together, 5 times 7, 5 multiplied by 7 is 35. So what two numbers add together to make 5, but multiply together to make 6? Add together to make 7, multiply together to make 6. So give yourself an opportunity to go through those examples there, 6 examples there. Pause the presentation if you need to, and then we'll come back and we'll take you through the solutions. So, by way of solutions, two numbers that add to make 5 but multiply to make 6, 3 and 2. Add to make 7, multiply to make 6, 6 and 1. Multiply together to make 16 but add together to make 10. 8 multiplied by 2 gives me 16, 8 plus 2 gives me 10. 6 and minus 5, so we've got a positive number and a negative number multiplied together, make a negative number. When we add them together they give us 1. A negative number multiplied by a positive number makes a negative number, but when we bring those two numbers together, a positive 3 and a negative 6, overall we've got negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 4 multiply together, two negative numbers multiplied together and make a positive result. Negative 3 brought together with a negative 4, overall we'll have a negative 7. That's just by way of a starter to get you in the right frame of mind, the right way of thinking for what's coming next. So, two brackets multiply together. What's the rule that a lot of you will have learned for multiplying two brackets together? FOIL. So if we've got two brackets, everything in the first bracket's got to be multiplied by everything in the second bracket. So, FOIL says first terms, x and x, multiply together to make x squared. Let's just change the position of that actually, thinking about it. It's not a particularly good place for us. So, x squared. Outside terms, the O. The x and the positive 3. 3 times x is plus 3x. Inside terms, 3 times x, 3x again. And last terms, 3 times 3 gives us a positive 9, which, if we combine like terms, the 3x and the 3x, they're like terms, gives us that result of x squared plus 6x plus 9. So that's expanding out two brackets. And you'll note two numbers in here add to make 6, multiply to make 9. And that's the key to taking a quadratic expression like this and factorising it, which means putting that quadratic expression into two brackets. So, an example. What two numbers, they multiply together to make a positive 8, but they add together to make a positive 6. That's what it's telling you to do down here. Now, FOIL says, if we were multiplying out this bracket, the first terms, x times x, that's going to give me the x squared. So as long as we haven't got another number in front of this x squared, we can say straight away that we've got to put an x in the front of each of those brackets. And then we've got to find the two numbers that multiply to make 8 but add to make 6. Now we've got options here. So multiply to make 8, it could be 8 and 1, or it could be 2 and 4. 8 and 1 don't add to make 6. 2 and 4 multiply to make 8 and they add to make 6. So my two numbers inside the bracket are going to be plus 2 and plus 4. And that's really all there is to these type of questions. That's a simple, straightforward example, hopefully. What two numbers multiply to make this number at the end, plus 8? What two numbers add to make the number in the middle, the plus 6? Got different options, try them out. Another example. So what two numbers multiply to make a positive 6 but add to make a positive 5? So multiply to make 6, could be 6 and 1. But 6 and 1, do they add to make 5? No, they don't. 2 and 3, 2 times 3 gives me 6, positive 6. 2 and 3 add to make 5. Yeah, they do. So we know we're going to have an X at the front of each bracket. My two numbers are going to be a positive 2 and a positive 3. Job done. Let's just check that out actually. FOIL says first terms x squared, outside terms plus 3x, inside terms plus 2x, last terms 2 times 3 is plus 6, x squared plus 5x plus 6, which is what we started with. So that works. Okay, another example. Slightly complicated factor here. Numbers that make negative 15. Negative 15. They add to make a positive 2. So negative 15, that means one of the numbers has got to be positive, one of the numbers has got to be negative. So just think about that for a moment while I take a drink. Now I'm going to take a massive leap here because it could be a 15 and a 1, 15 times 1, one of them being positive, one of them being negative, but there's no way that they're going to add up to a positive 2. So I'm looking at the numbers 3 and 5. I've just said one of them's got to be positive, one of them's got to be negative, because they've got to multiply together to make a negative number. So if your result is a negative number when you multiply two numbers, one of those original numbers has got to be positive, one of them's got to be negative. So we could have minus 3 and a positive 5, or we could have a positive 3 and a negative 5. So both of those combinations, either one of those would give me my negative 15. But which one of them, when we add them together, gives me positive 2? 3 and a minus 5 put together gives me minus 2, so it's not that combination. A minus 3 and a positive 5, when we put them together, it gives me a positive 2. So that is my correct combination. So going back, x in the front of the brackets, and my two numbers are minus 3 and 5. Positive 5. Does it matter which way around that 5 and the 3 go? No, as long as it's negative 3, that's a positive 5. They could be in the other brackets. It won't make any difference, and you can try that if you don't believe me. Let's just multiply that out using FOIL. So FOIL says first terms x squared, outside terms plus 5x, inside terms minus 3x, last terms negative 15. Combine those like terms, takes me back to the start. So it works. Okay, factorising quadratic expressions. A couple of little examples there to help you out. And then you've got 15 questions to try and work through there. So I'll read them through just in case they're not particularly clear to you. X squared plus 5x plus 4, x squared plus 8x plus 15, x squared plus 9x plus 20, x squared plus 14x plus 24, x squared plus 9x plus 18. Factorise them, put them into two brackets. X squared minus 11x plus 10, x squared minus 5x plus 6, x squared minus 8x plus 15, x squared minus 12x plus 20, x squared minus 8x plus 7. Factorise them, put them into two brackets. And then finally, x squared plus 2x minus 8, x squared plus 4x minus 12, x squared minus x minus 6, x squared minus 5x minus 14, x squared minus 2x minus 24. So you've got 15 examples there. There's a couple of aide-memoire examples there for you as well. But try and complete those 15 examples. So you might need to pause the video and then we'll come back and we'll give you the solutions. Okay, the solutions to those 15 problems then. Those are your solutions. So you might have to pause your presentation and work through those answers. That completes the presentation for today. Hopefully that's been helpful, hopefully it's been useful, and hopefully you'll be able to complete the other tasks that will be set around this topic for you. So thank you very much for your attention.